A big welcome back to The Snug today, where we look at the first of a new series of questions posed by Jesus that help you and me face one of the most common daily challenges. Now here's today's question straight from the Master's lips. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothing? In recent days we've looked at 4 questions, haven't we, that have had to do with revealing our heart and enabling us to become big-hearted towards others. Today's question is also rooted in the heart, but in particular it has to do with where is our treasure, because that, we discover, is where our heart is wedded or welded. The context of today's question then is found a few verses earlier, where Jesus says, "Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust can corrupt, and where thieves break in and steal, but store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." He goes on to say you cannot serve God and money. Most of Jesus' listeners were likely to have had little beyond basic necessities: food, clothing, shelter. And because getting those necessities often depended, especially in rural areas, on seasonal rains, they had plenty of cause for stress about food and clothing. But it's interesting that most of us in the affluent West still find ourselves very easily preoccupied with food, body shape, body tone, dress size, clothing. In fact, for many of us, our preoccupation with clothing has become generationally legendary. So much so we now apparently need decluttering people and minimalist people, the minimalist mum particularly famous in this regard, all trying to tell us how to get our lives back. Now in both camps, austerity and affluence, the issues are faced head on by Jesus as he links this with everyday preoccupations. Therefore he says, "I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more than clothes?" Now, these questions are related, and they're embedded in a collection of short sayings, which in turn are like a developing argument in the mind of Jesus, all united by the theme of worry and possessions. Now, in contrast with the materialistic concerns which occupy our attention most of the time, Jesus calls his disciples to put God first, both by giving priority to eternal issues, but also by trusting our Heavenly Father to meet our material needs here on earth. It's as if Jesus wants to achieve several things right now as we're reflecting together. He wants to challenge you and me. Where is our real treasure? Is it in eternal things with heavenly impact? Or is it taken up with day-to-day focus on unnecessary priorities? And he wants to point out that to be primarily concerned with material possessions not only shows a wrong perspective, but it's also foolish, since such possessions cannot last. And in plenty or in want, either way, they will never define us, they will never give us life, and they'll certainly never give us heavenly reward. Going to welcome you back tomorrow.